that's your division breakdown of all 8. We made it through it. It seemed like the most fire came from the so-called Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay Buccaneers because this guy has proved it his whole career. He is a winner. One playoff win makes you better than Tom Brady. And,
just a fucking stud, dude.
They lost a lot, and they're better.
The Bucs are on the up.
Hey,
this doesn't mean this is our final. This does not mean this is our final standings. We will give our final standings when it's in the preseason, closer to the first week of the season, when we do our awards and we do our projections for the playoffs. So things can change with position battles, and injuries obviously are going to happen. Unfortunately, it's just the way training camp works. You get injuries in that non-contact. We'll get some ACL tears, unfortunately. All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Chris Gemeinhart, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Hello and welcome to this final division breakdown where we talk about the NFC South episode of All About the Balls podcast. I'm your host, Mark Davis, and if you're watching out there, if you can't tell, I'm fucking burnt. I look like a damn cherry, but I'm excited to be here to talk about the division that my team is in, the flag behind me, the Falcons division, NFC South. Join along my NFC South brother, Chris Gemeinhart, after that long vacation you had. Welcome back, my friend. How does it feel, and how was the trip?
The trip was absolutely amazing. The drive was not so great. Don't recommend a 10-hour drive with 2 kids under 2. Wanted to pull a gun out. It was rough.
Whoa.
But the trip was great. The trip was great.
And those kids real quick.
The trip was great.
And now the drive. Now all of a sudden the drive's great with just mom and dad.
Easy 10 hours now.
Jesus.
Luke, how was the shorter time off now that we got after that extended vacation? How you doing?
I mean, I'm tired. They got us out here working. I've been getting off at 7 o'clock every day. I know not as bad as your schedule right now, but still, these 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. days they're not so fun.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Luke. Doc, how you doing? I see you repping them Bears jersey. How you doing?
Oh, dude, beat, worn out. These 9 to 5s Monday through Friday are absolutely killing me right now. I'm just worn down, been grinding, just exhausted, man. I feel like I could sleep for a year.
Do you work?
Yeah,
tomorrow?
Do you?
Do what?
Do you work tomorrow?
Tomorrow? No, I have a mentorship thing all day tomorrow at the base. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So 9 to 5 most Monday through Fridays.
Yeah, I wish my Friday consisted of that. Tonight, or actually Tuesday when we got off, or after the Monday show, I worked till 9 p.m., had to be back at 6 the next morning. So if you can't tell, if you guys are watching, look, I'm going to be crispy and brown when it's all. I'm going to be a nice, golden graham, out there when it's all said and done. So 8 more days. I'm over the halfway point.
Mark, I'm going to make a promise to you, man. If I get some time tomorrow, I will hit the links and send you a picture.
That's fine. Was that Chris?
Y'all don't have like a little fucking PC to wear to protect that head?
I forgot my sunscreen at the lake when I went out there on Sunday. And
Your fault.
So that's not from work then.
Hey, I got off at 3 a.m. and I had to readjust my sleep schedule because I work days, nights, days.
Sun shining so bright at 3 a.m., bro.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking work. Like I said, I work days, nights, days. Days, nights, days in 24-hour span.
Sun's up, take on the world, 3 a.m., let's go.
Hey,
I saw
well,
you
anyways.
on that river.
I was, and I enjoyed that half day off that I got. Fucking enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got
time off. You got time off, did you?
Half a day
Yeah,
after.
no, I know that struggle.
Sleep.
I know that struggle.
Sucks,
I only had 2 last weekend.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't get any days off.
But let's move
Big
on.
facts. We always working. I feel you, Chris.
We have an important episode. Like I said, it's the wrap up of this division breakdown. Mine and Chris's division, like you can see with his jersey, my hat, my flag, the NFC South. All teams besides the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year were 7-10. The Bucs did finish 8-9. They won that division. They probably would have finished 9-8 if they had to play for the division. They rested their starters. It seemed like the second half. They sat Brady and all them. But, hey, they lost. They were 8-9. The AFC South also were close to having the 8-9 team like we talked about last episode. But Jacksonville ended up beating Tennessee. But the first team on the docket, my team, the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, I'm excited for this season. I think I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to make noise in the playoffs or anything like that. But I'm excited to see what we're finally going to do with this system that Arthur Smith has started to put into our team. We finally got the running back that he loves, like Derek Henry. That was his running back at Tennessee. We got Bijan Robinson to pair with Tyler Algier, a 1,000-yard rusher last year as a rookie, as our 1-2 punch. Also sprinkle a little Cordell Patterson, put him out there maybe in the flex, things like that. We got Kyle Pitts coming back fucking healthy. Desmond Ridder is going to start getting him the ball, like Marcus Mariota, like Matt Ryan did. Maybe not at the high level as Matt Ryan, but he's going to still at least look for him, target him. We added on the defense. We added some Saints players. Chris knows that. We added Jesse Bates, one of the top safeties in the NFL from the Bengals. So I'm excited. I really am. I think we hit that 7-10 threshold the last 2 years in a row. I feel like we only got better. We added a little bit on the defense in the draft as well. I'm excited. I really am. Drake London year 2. The question, though, is what is Desmond going to do in his first year as a starter? That's the key. His numbers were similar to Matt Ryan. His first 4 starts is what we got from him last year. He went 2-2. We're going to see now, first year. So, Chris, I know we've talked about it off screen. I'm excited for this Falcons team this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what the Falcons do. They definitely improved in holes that they were missing. I mean, the one thing that this team is going to be very good at, and no one can question it, is going to be their run game. I mean, you have Algier that ran over 1,000 yards last year. You improved on that offensive line a little bit, and then you bring in Bijan. I can book it right now that this team's going to be a top 5 in statistics in everything rushing.
Yep, last year we were number 4 too. So I mean, not like it's going to change. Yeah,
I'm gonna jump right on with that. I mean, the run game has been absolutely phenomenal, even without Bijan, and to add him, I mean, this is just a power 1-2 punch. I mean, absolutely, you couldn't ask for a better backfield at this point. I mean, Desmond Ridder, similar first 4 games, like you said, with Matt Ryan. So obviously we have a 28-3, fallout coming later on in the playoffs. But no, I think the Falcons made a lot of improvements.
Coming from the guy that was wearing a jersey, the guy doesn't even play for anymore, so must love him in the past.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, well, I spent money on the jersey. I'm not just going to not wear it. You know what I'm saying?
DH Gate, buddy. You don't have to ever worry about that ever again.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But no, I'm real excited to see what the Falcons can do. I think that the addition that they made in the draft and free agency, Bates, like you said, they're making all the right moves, going in the right direction. Coach putting the scheme together. It seems like it's finally coming full circle. I want to say that, I'm expecting great things out of them, but at the same time, aside from the division, I pretty much gave them a loss in every other projection that we made just to fuck with you, Mark. But in reality, no, I'm hoping to see some excitement in a better football team. I think this team's on the up and up.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw.
No, you're good.
Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
No, so I agree with that. So the run game is probably going to be the heartbeat of this team. My thing is, I don't think they're going to be able to win close games. I don't think Desmond Ridder is going to be polished enough to make those game-winning throws that he's going to have to make. He's got only Kyle Pitts and Drake London out there. The rest of the wide receiver core is pretty weak. Like with Scotty Miller and Matt Collins, I have no faith in those dudes. And if Kyle Pitts or Drake London gets hurt at any point in the season, then you just double team one of the other dude, and guess what? Stack the box on the Falcons, and you pretty much stop their offense right there.
I don't think we got to worry so much about the injuries. I think we just got to worry about keeping people out of the sports book.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah,
especially
Matt Collins. Matt Collins wasn't that bad last year as number 2 in Las Vegas. I mean, he did put up 57 catches and a little over almost 700 yards and then 4 TDs, but that's with Devontae Adams. So he's going to get a lot more looks.
That's not bad with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be like a stud, like a T. Higgins or Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith as number 2, but I think with Drake London, he's going to get his looks because Drake London isn't that Devontae Adams or those guys that are huge receivers. And we saw what Desmond Ridder did with Drake London in the 4 games. Drake London's numbers were skyrocketed with him in there. So Drake London, the only key with him is he needs to learn how to go down sometimes and not be so aggressive to get those extra yards because he had some key fumbles. But I'm excited to see this. I really am. I think Kyle Pitts is going to show his rookie year, maybe some more touchdowns. Maybe that's what's in store for him. But with Mariota did not really ever throw his way. When he did, there were a lot of shit throws. So that's something I'm excited to see with Kyle Pitts.
I think Arthur Smith knows what he's doing. I mean, we saw a little bit of Ritter last season, like we talked about, only 4 games. I think he's going to improve from that. I mean, he got a 55.9 overall grade as a rookie. We're definitely going to see improvement there. I'm not shocked if we see like a lower 20 in statistics for the passing, because this team's going to be a run-heavy team first, and that's going to take pressure off Ritter. I can see Arthur Smith relatively giving Ritter a smaller role for him to pretty much manage the game. I can see him being more of a Ryan Tannehill. Like, they're not going to say, hey, go out there and try to win us this game. They're going to rely on that backfield. They're going to rely on Ritter making those short passes to just drive down the field.
And our line needs to improve in the passing. I mean, we were one of the best ranked rushing blocking schemes with our line last year. Obviously, we have one of the best fucking guard, Chris Lindstrom, out there as well. So we have to see what they can do in the pass protection. That's the key. We did draft a lineman. They're probably going to plug him in right away on the offensive lineman or the offensive side. So I'm excited. Jesse Bates, like I said, is going to bring life in here. Our defense last year wasn't as bad as people thought. I mean, we were in a lot of low-scoring games towards the end of the season. Our defense played a lot better in the second half of the season. So now, hopefully, Grady Jarrett, and that's the key to this defense, is pass rush too. Like, we've never had a good pass rush, and it seems like in years. So that's the key to help this secondary and linebacker core.
I think the big thing, like you said, Mark, with defense, I mean, the Falcons they didn't have the worst defense last year, but they definitely had bottom-tier defense. They had a lot of holes everywhere. Luckily, the Falcons went into the offseason with the second most cap space, and they used every bit of it to beef up their defense. Like you said, they brought in Jesse Bates, outstanding safety. They brought in some interior defense linemen, veterans. You have Calais Campbell. He's getting up there in age, 37, but I mean, he had 6 sacks last year, 12 hits, 17 hurries. The Ravens didn't want to pay him probably because of his age, but Falcons said, come on over. They got David Onemata from the Saints. I hated to see him go. He did take a little step back last year. He only earned a 64% in his grade, but he did earn 80 plus in the 3 other campaigns that he had. So, I mean, I see him making an improvement. I mean, they just improved on that defensive line, but the big thing is they don't have that tier pass rusher to get to the quarterback.
Brady's good, but he's double teamed a lot. That's the problem with him.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles had more sacks last year than the Falcons had the past 2 years. So they need to find that guy to step up on the line and get sacks and pressure the quarterback. I think they did some outstanding moves to beef up this defense, but I think this defense is still going to struggle a little bit.
Another steal, too, we got the Saints defensive coordinator, or we brought him as our defensive coordinator, a guy on the Saints defensive side. So, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm really excited. That being said, over-under is simple. The expectations for them, 7.5. They've been 7-10 the last 2 seasons under Arthur Smith. We're 14 and 20 in his 2 years. So we're going to see what he can do. I'm going to go over. I really do think that it's going to be an over type of year for the Atlanta Falcons. I can see us going forward into the division. The reason why we'll talk about that, I'm not high on the Buccaneers at all. I think we start the season 2-2 the first 4 games, and then we go on a little run there till we possibly play Minnesota, and then things like that. I really do think we're going to be 8 to 9 win team, and I wouldn't be shocked if we win 10. I don't think our schedule's that hard. I really don't. But the ending stretch in December is brutal to me. You have to go to 2 cold weather teams in Carolina and Chicago, and then you have to end the season in the Bayou in New Orleans. It's going to be a little rough, but I think 8 to 10 wins is very possible for this team.
Yeah, luckily the Falcons and the Saints both benefited this year with having the easiest schedules in the NFL. I think the Falcons easily get over 7 wins. I mean, you have Ritter getting his, hey, you're the man this year, not Mariota, where he has to step in. And they improved in everything. They got 7 wins last year. They didn't decline in any position. So why would they not get more than 7 wins this year with an easier schedule than they had last year?
Yeah, I'm going just under. I'm going to go 7 on this one. And I think a couple of them are toss-ups, so where it can really, I mean, the potential is there for 9 or 10, but Just looking at it at face value, I'm going 7. I think, like you said earlier, with Desmond Ridder having a small role, I think it's going to be a very slow, gradual pace for him. I don't think the run game is going to win the season. So it really is going to depend on how he comes out swinging and what his capabilities are in the beginning. I mean, it looked pretty decent the first 4 games, but, there's a lot at stake here, and it's a lot of it, I think, is going to fall on what Ridder can do, not just as a pure, passer, but how he manages the game, how he mixes it up with the play action, everything else, like how he really finds his form in the NFL now, being a full-time starter.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Doc on this. I'm just going to go under as well. Probably more like 6 wins, maybe 7 at best for the Falcons. I mean, I don't see anything like too exciting about the Falcons. Yeah, their schedule is not too bad. But I still think Ridder's going to be rusty. He's not going to be – I don't think he'll ever be like top-tier quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be that like they said earlier, that game manager type quarterback, maybe that Ryan Tannehill, something like that, where he's just going to rely on the run game and complete a couple passes here and there. But he's not going to be that guy going out there and win those close games for you. So I think they're going to lose some close games because I don't think Ridder's going to be able to get it done in the passing game.
Sounds like that is if Des Ridder can just play good, that's all it takes to win this division and have more wins than 7. So, like I said, I agree. It falls on Desmond Ridder.
And a quarterback in a division of weak quarterbacks, yeah. I mean, he could absolutely, if he comes out swinging, he could absolutely run away with this division.
I'm going to say this with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't care what we finish this year. If Desmond Ridder is just average or below average at best, I don't care what it takes. You trade that fucking our first pick to number 1, and you take Caleb Williams in the draft next year. I will put all the money in the world. You trade up for that motherfucker, and I will be happy. Give up all the picks you need. Arizona's not going to need a quarterback unless they trade Kyler Murray and they get a bunch of picks for him still, and then they draft Caleb Williams. That's something I wish we'd talk about last. Guy? Yes, the USC guy, talented as hell.
I like him.
I really think that Atlanta should trade for him if we don't do good with Desmond Ridder. So, hey, that's your Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry, my Atlanta Falcons. But, Chris, we mentioned your team, and somehow based on the tiebreaker, because you got swept by the Carolina Panthers, you guys were the second worst team according to that. The question is now is, Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston behind you. Can Derek Carr lead this team to the playoffs? I really think he can. But it's also preview for your boy Michael Thomas. We haven't really seen him a lot lately. Alvin Kamara's stuff got situated. Misdemeanor, he settled for that. How many games does he get? Also, can he get his production back? Because it wasn't just the suspension talks last year. His production dropped big time last year. So I want to know, what's your opinion on your New Orleans Saints going into this 2023 season?
Yeah, I mean, we took some hits on defense, especially the defensive line. I mean, we completely got to revamp that defense. I mean, Derek Carr, I like the move just because Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton wasn't doing it. I think he's going to be a game manager at best. He has that offensive weapons to improve. And I think if he can't take advantage of his playmakers and consistently make some explosive plays, then it's definitely going to be a long season for us.
Yeah, that's one of the notes I made for you is, your defense is stingy as hell. I mean, they're one of the best secondary in the league, and they don't cause a lot of turnovers. And now I want to see what you guys can do in sacks. Because like you said, you guys lost a lot. Cameron Jordan's getting up there in age. I mean, he's still producing. Don't get me wrong, but the question is, can your defense bail out your offense, which I think is still pretty good. You got Chris Olave, you got that Miller kid from TCU, you brought in Jamal Williams. I think this is your division to lose, honestly.
Yeah, I think on paper, this might be the best offense in the division. I mean, that's not saying too much, but like you said, we have Chris Olave, huge rookie season. Michael Thomas needs to come in and prove that he can do it. I mean, the 3 games he played last year, he proved that he was still dominant. He did have some surgery to take off all those screws and metal plates out of his foot. We'll see if that helps. But, I mean, Michael Thomas needs to come in and be able to play a fully healthy year.
Yeah, I think, honestly, the car's out of the shop. I think, like Davis said, it's y'all's division to lose. I think that when you look at what you guys have dealt with the last couple of years between Winston and Dalton, I mean, this is one of the few situations that I will say Carr is an improvement as a quarterback. There are not many teams that I could say this for, but this is one of them. And he's he can definitely make the throw. He can definitely complete the play. With the weapons that you got, I would like to see Thomas come back healthy and stronger than ever. start utilizing Kamara more like you used to. Olave, huge fan of him last season. So, I mean, the weapons are all there. It's just a matter of, drawing up the right plays and executing. And I think that if I'm looking at, the moves that were made in the offseason, aside from drafting a quarterback that, you try to turn into a franchise quarterback, Derek Carr was probably the best move that you guys could have made aside from Aaron Rodgers maybe. But I think the Saints have a lot of potential to take this division.
Yeah, I see Derek Carr being like that game manager for you guys. He's going to do just enough to like win games and not lose them. It kind of depends on how Alvin Kamara comes out again. See what kind of if he gets suspended and how long that is for. I mean, Jamal Williams, he showed he can play the running back position, be the starter in the league. So I mean, he'll fill that role, but we'll see. Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams would be a fucking pretty good backfield. Then your wide receiver situation, like. They just can't seem to stay healthy throughout the season. I mean, Chris Olave, he had a great season, but I'm pretty sure he was banged up for a couple games last season as well. And other than that,
he took some big hits.
Yeah, he got hit in the
head.
He
took a couple decent ones. He took a couple decent ones.
Yeah, he did.
He got his fucking world rocked on one of them, I remember.
He's a little scrawny wide receiver, so he can't be taking all those big shots every year because he won't make it last. He'll be pulling the Michael Thomas, get paid, and take a couple years off. But, yeah, we'll see what Michael Thomas can do if he's fully healthy back for a full season. I mean, if he's only plays 2 or 3 games like he did last season, he's not going to help the team out too much.
Chris, I'm going to need you to call Olave and tell him to take it easy with those big hits, man. He can't be doing that. Tell him to cut that shit out.
Run out of bounds.
Tell him to stop. Yeah, tell him to stop.
He could, if he's on my fantasy team, you call him. If he's on my fantasy team, don't fucking call it, man. Let him do what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing, like we've all mentioned, AK, I mean, we saw that his trial went down past couple days, and it went down to a misdemeanor. Now it's up to the NFL to do their investigation. Does the outcome happen this year, or does it happen next year? We saw the same situation with Zeke, where they went through a whole year investigating until something happened. But I think I can see maybe 2 to 6 games this year with AK
2 quarters.
If the NFL comes this year and says, hey, but I think with Jamal Williams and then the rookie Kendra Miller out of TCU that wants to take AK's spot, I mean, I think our run game is going to improve from last year for sure.
Well, the run game isn't the issue. The issue is the versatility that you have with Kamara. I mean, what he was able to do from the backfield. And honestly, I don't even want to say like his play declined. I just feel like they didn't utilize him. I mean, when Ingram came back, that was like the end of the Kamara era, and they were just like, yep, Ingram's our number one. You're here to just kind of support, and Kamara never really got ahead of it after that.
I mean, the issue with that was we had Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston not being able to produce offensively.
Yeah.
We couldn't open and spread the field. They couldn't make throws. You had Andy Dalton look like Andy Dalton. So old-fashioned Andy Dalton, baby. I know how that feels.
I think y'all should try Kamara out of kicker.
Y'all need to put a bucket of crab legs in the end zone for Jameis, and y'all win every game.
Lutz missing some field goals last year.
I mean, the whole offense was fucking Taysom Hill running a power formation.
Yeah. I don't know how Taysom's going to figure that out yet. 90% of the time he's going to run it. And
Atlanta's been a victim to that a couple. Yeah, the Falcons have been a victim to that a couple of times, especially last year. Yeah, I think he had a big play against us the first week of the season, actually.
That 10% that he throws is a nice strike for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But
Chris,
that's all you need.
Big catches this year.
Chris, I really do think them up. Yeah, they are. I think that this is a big year for the Saints. I really think that you guys have the potential to win 11 games. And I hate to say it because it's the biggest rivalry in the division. It's the Falcons and Saints. It usually is hate week when we play each other. I know Doc has the Packers and Luke's had his history with the Steelers, and now it's kind of the Ravens. But the rivalry has been around for a while, and it's nasty. So for me to say that the Saints are going to win this division, I hate to say it. I really fucking hate it. I had the over under 9.5, and I think it's over. I think this is a 10-win team, and I could see that 11th win happen in there. I see that fucking November 5th game. That game is going to be probably 34-17 Saints. So I have Saints winning this division pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, I think this division is going to be honestly a toss-up between the Falcons and the Saints. I think we both have on paper very good teams, but with both teams, it's quarterback play. Are these quarterbacks going to be able to step up? I'm going to have the over. I mean, we have the easiest schedule in the NFL. I think we grab 10, and then, like you said, I think we might be able to reach for that 11th if we stay healthy. That's the key concern, is if we stay healthy.
Yeah, health is a concern with every team. I mean, when I look at the schedule and kind of what they have going, I'm going to go on a limb here, and you heard it here first. They're starting out 5-0, and I've got them taking
Houston.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 6-0. Yeah, shit, 6-0. And I got them taking 11.
I don't even think we start 6-0, but hey, Doc, I appreciate it.
I have 6-0 as well.
I think it's there, dude.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee is really on those first 6. I think Tennessee is your only challenge game, and Tennessee is struggling.
Well, I can see Carolina and New England because New England's tough at home, and that defense is still the defense. And Carolina Monday night in Charlotte, that's the question. I mean, it's Bryce Young, his first home game, so I do think 6-0. Chris,
I think Derek Carr is going to school him. I think Derek Carr is going to school him, and I think you still got Mac Jones in New England, and that's it.
I mean, I think the biggest one I'm looking at is Green Bay with Jordan Love starting. It's scary to me. I mean, we did lose to the fucking Sam Darnold Panthers last year. So
not even that. Don't discount Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, because this is going to be a repeat of what we saw with Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Favre.
Didn't you lose to the Baker Mayfield Panthers as well?
Ooh,
we probably
you got swept by both. Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
I mean, probably take a couple more losses to Baker too this year.
I don't think so. But hey, I think we would have won this division if Mark Ingram would have fucking hit one more yard instead of stepping out early. But hey, that's just me.
Jackass.
So I think I'm going to take the under, but just under at 9. I still think you guys win the division with 9 wins. I think you probably sweep Atlanta and maybe Carolina. But other than that, I think you might split with Tampa.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say I think you're absolutely crazy going the under.
No.
I think we.
I mean, 9 wins and winning the division is still not a bad year for them. I think they'll be.
I think we split
like the 4th seed.
I have them split in Atlanta. Atlanta.
This might be the year, Chris, we finally make that. We might make that annual bet we used to make back in the day. Now that both teams kind of seem to be a little better now, I've been afraid to do that the last couple of years. So, I might take you up on that. We'll talk Thanksgiving week, literally. See how I'm fucking feeling with the family. Make it when I'm drunk. That's all you gotta do. But moving on to a team that, they were on potential to get the number 1 draft pick before trading to number 1. Then they kind of got on a little streak when they fired Matt Rule and I forgot who the defense coordinator was.
Which was way overdue. Overdue.
Steve Wilks, that's who it was. Steve Wilks came in and took over the team. They played for him. But the Carolina Panthers, they traded away receiver DJ Moore and a bunch of draft picks to Chicago to get their quarterback of choice, and that was the quarterback out of Alabama, Bryce Young. Doc, I do think Carolina took a step back. I know they brought in Adam Thielen and Hayden Hurst, 2 aging pass catchers out there. I don't know if that's enough. They brought in Miles Sanders, who had a pretty good year last year, but he got paid. And now we know what happens when running backs usually get paid going to a new team. They kind of go downhill. And I think this is a team I think this team is in a situation where it's going to be up and down roller coaster with Bryce Young. And he's going to have a lot of moments, and he's going to have some bad moments. He's a rookie. It happens. And everyone's high on this defense. This defense sucked last year. I know they had some injuries, but J.C. Horn, talented corner, can't stay healthy. They have other secondary members get hurt too. So we don't know what this Panthers defense is all about, honestly, Doc.
No, I'm not thrilled with this team on either side of the ball. Matt Rule was far overdue to get fired. I was so glad to see that happen because there was a lot of speculation that it was too close with him, with his relationship to be let go. But honestly, I'm not impressed with the Bryce Young pick. I think the options that were available, they kind of just went with the hype. I think that he's going to be kind of like a Mitchell Trubisky in just that he never really finds his footing, Trubisky was not dog shit all the way. I mean, I would definitely put him below 50. But I think that's kind of where Bryce Young is going to be. I don't think he's over athletic. I don't think he's over powerful. I don't think he's got the size. I think he's just going to be a struggle, and he's going to get swallowed alive out there. Like you said with the receivers, I mean, they brought in a couple of aging guys. It's not going to help when you've got a young quarterback. We've seen Thielen falling off, lately. So bringing in a young quarterback to try and get his footing and develop, and you didn't even really find true weapons for him. Because I don't even know that I would put Adam Thielen number one on a lot of teams. Maybe the Falcons.
I take Drake London over Adam Thielen.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I love Drake London.
On the Ravens, maybe.
I love Drake London.
I think Zay Flowers is going to be better than Adam Thielen.
I agree, and that's why I'm not impressed with this team offensively or defensively. Like you said, a lot of hype on the defense, and it's really there's nothing to write home about there. This team is going to underperform. I'm not impressed. It's going to be a disappointing year in Carolina again.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Doc on this. There's nothing exciting about this team for me besides watching Bryce Young try to figure out the NFL. I think he's going to be too undersized to play very well at the beginning. He's going to have to learn how to play against these bigger, faster, stronger players and not having the most talented team that he's playing with. So he's going to go from having one of the most talented teams in college to having one of the least talented teams in the NFL.
And you're going to see the severe skill difference in that. Yeah. It is not hard to be a successful quarterback in Alabama.
No, that's why Alabama quarterbacks don't usually do so well in the NFL. They have recently better, a little bit better, but I'm still not a huge fan.
Tua, but same thing with Tua. Tua got banged up. I mean, he took some hard hits. I won't discount that, but another guy that
you're forgetting Jalen Hurts actually went to Alabama.
He Oklahoma quarterback.
But he's both. I'm not gonna say he's one or the other. He did win a championship with Alabama.
No, I'll give him credit. But no, I just think with the guys that they put on the line in Alabama, it is very easy to be successful. I mean, Georgia's obviously tough. There are tough schools in the SEC, obviously, but being a quarterback behind a line like Alabama, it's not hard to be successful. And he's going to come in here and he's going to have a much different group of guys. He's going to go from seeing one guy maybe trying to come off the edge on him like you would in college, a couple of good guys, defense decent, but nothing like what you would see in the NFL. Everybody knows a different pace. A lot of folks, defenses can be stellar at the college level. It doesn't mean they're going to be successful at the NFL. It's a different pace. It's a different level of playing, a different level of skill. And I think Bryce Young is gonna see that the hard way.
Yeah, I think Bryce Young played all that well last year at Alabama. There's multiple games that Alabama should have lost, like the Texas game and a couple other games.
He was the reason why, but he was also the reason why they won the game too. He's the reason why they came back.
I don't think he's that good last season compared.
But that's what I'm saying. The skill difference.
Most talented teams. He had one of the most talented teams, and I don't think he was all that good.
You're not going to see the skill difference like you do in college at this level. Yeah. You're just not. You're not going to find those openings, dudes. I mean, you will. You find them once in a while, but not as consistently like you do at the college level, where dude just breaks a fucking route and is wide open, nobody in 40 yards of him running to the end zone.
I think Bryce Young, out of the rookie quarterbacks, I think he's going to have one of the steepest learning curves, just with his size and him not having the most talented team like he always used to have.
So Luke,
who has a better year?
Well, Luke, I know.
I think CJ Stroud will have a better year than.
No, I'm saying him and Richardson.
I think Richardson has a more talented team around him.
So Luke, how about this one?
Well,
how about the two losses from Alabama last year? Right, the first one, Tennessee, that shootout. He put up almost 500 yards, no interceptions, and they lost because their defense last year is one of the worst Alabama defenses last year. Honestly,
they had some close games that they won that they probably shouldn't have won. Is what I was saying.
They got fucked in the TAMU got fucked in their loss. TAMU got fucked in their loss. The refs fucked that hard. And the Texas game, actually. And the Texas game, I remember that penalty they didn't call in Alabama that could have changed the tide of the game.
And that was with Texas quarterback.
No pun intended, I guess.
What you think of Chris, though, with this Carolina Panthers this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bryce Young is a phenomenal quarterback. I think he's going to do great. Carolina's not helping him out. I mean, they probably have a bottom 5 wide receiver room when DJ Chark or Adam Thielen's your number one. It's going to be rough. I mean, Miles Sanders, it was a great addition. He's coming off his best career. But other than that, I mean, the offense isn't looking good. The defense, I mean, your greatest addition was Von Bell. I mean, you have a lot of star players, but those star players are second tier in the respective groups. I mean, you got Derek Brown, the defensive tackle, Burns, the edge rusher, but he's not a Bosa. He's not a Garrett Wilson, or not Garrett Wilson, but
Miles Garrett.
Garrett, yeah. And then
That
Horn, that guy, the guy that hits people in the head.
With helmets.
Yeah, with helmets. And then you got Horn. I mean, all these guys that are they're not tier one. And then you have J.C. Horn, but who's your quarterback too? Because Dante Jackson's trash. I mean,
they're both hurt. Both of them are hurt too. Like both corners get hurt.
Yeah, Dante Jackson, he forced 1 incompletion in 9 games last season before tearing his Achilles. So, I mean, their defense just isn't there. The guys they sign are guys that are filling holes that they already need filled, and it's guys that they're reaching for. I mean, edge rushers, but besides for Burns on that defensive line, you have nobody. So I'm not too happy about this defense. I mean, I think Carolina and Tampa are going to be battling it out for last place.
And not even just that, a lot of their draft picks, the good draft picks, are with Chicago. So, I mean, good luck. And no one's going to come there in free agency if they're not at least showing some life out there.
I need them to shit the bed this season. I need them. I'm taking the under. I'm gonna go ahead and lead us off there. I'm taking the under. I'm going bottom 3 team in the NFL. I need them to have the number 1 pick in the draft. I need Bryce Young to play like shit. Miles Sanders going to shit the bed because he just got paid. I'll look at the schedule realistically, but I need them to be last place in the NFL. But I'm going. I'll let somebody else give theirs.
The over under is 6.5. So it's what we.
Oh, they're under.
I know you said
they're under.
And I'm going under too. I do think that they're going to be better than Tampa. I think this is about a 4 or 5 win team though. And like I said, roller coaster. You're going to see some shining moments from Bryce Young. You're going to see some bad moments from Bryce Young. That is the rookie effect. Not everyone's Andrew Luck. Not everyone's Cam Newton in their fucking rookie season, and they come in here and ball out in this generation of quarterbacks. So even Mahomes in his first year as a starting quarterback. I mean, it wasn't a rookie season, but his first year as a starter, man won the MVP. Same thing with Lamar Jackson in his first full year. So not everyone's those kind of level quarterbacks, and I just don't think Bryce Young is there yet. Under.
I'll give him a win against Houston, maybe Indianapolis because it's 2 rookies going out in quarterback, but I think he's got the better team. I'll give him 1 against Tampa. Maybe 1 against Atlanta. I don't think that they will win 1 against Atlanta, but I think that first game could be kind of, Desmond Ridder still somewhat fresh with 4 games experience. I think that could be a toss-up game. I think Atlanta still comes out on top, though, but I'm saying 3, maybe 4 for Carolina.
Yeah, I'm taking the under with them as well. I think they get maybe around that 5 wins max for this season. There's nothing exciting about the team. I think they're going to lose a bunch of games, especially the games early when Bryce Young's trying to figure the NFL out. Plus, they got some tough games up front. So 2 divisional games back-to-back to start out in the NFL, then traveling to Seattle, then playing Minnesota, and they have Miami week 6 at Miami.
Don't discount Detroit, motherfucker. Go back, all right? I'm from the NFC North, and I'm going to tell you don't discount Detroit.
No. I'm just saying, I don't think out of like those teams, I think they'll probably start off. I think they might start off 0-6, really. They might squeak out one of those wins in the first 6 weeks.
Nope.
It's going to be tough.
Take that juju out of here, bro. They're going 0-17, my guy. Number 1 pick going to the Bears, and we're going to rinse and repeat, and we're going to get another first-round pick this year and 1 next year to go with it.
I don't see a real easy game for them on the schedule until maybe late in the season.
No, I think the home game versus Houston might be an easy one. That's the only other one.
Yeah. Other than that, then I think Indianapolis is going to be tough, and going at Chicago, then playing Dallas. It's going to be tough.
Chris, if Chicago loses to Carolina, y'all are going to have to check in on me.
Chris, you following us though with the under though?
Yeah, no. I mean, I like the way this team is going. I don't think this is their year. I don't think this is going to be their year for a couple years. They're in a deep rebuild, but I like the players that they have on the team with Mingo and Bryce, the rookies, but I'm going under. Their ceiling is 5, and then I can see their floor being maybe 3.
I'm glad you're excited for this team because I don't even think Carolina's excited for this team. Like the fan base, I don't even think they're hyped up. They put out a hype video and everybody's just crying in the video.
I'm a little irritated though that they got 2 primetime games, and I'm not saying Atlanta should have 1, but they got 2 more than the Falcons, and that's pretty sad. I mean, I understand you got Bryce, but I understand you got Bryce Young. I would rather see Atlanta and New Orleans on Monday Night Football like we used to play, and not New Orleans and Carolina. That's just shit.
It's literally because of Bryce Young. That is the sole reason.
And then November 9th,
quarterback.
Good job, Jeff Bezos. Way to get another fucking primetime game with Chicago and Carolina. Let's keep this fucking exciting Thursday night games up that you guys had last year.
Yep. This is going to be just like fucking dude. Chicago and Washington last year, 12-9, baby. Let's go!
And you get the Commanders on Thursday night again. So back-to-back years with the Commanders on Thursday Night Football. Jeff Bezos, they're
such an exciting team, dude. Such an exciting team.
Good bidding, asshole.
I got to be honest. If I had to pick like my dream Thursday night primetime game that I think would be an absolute shootout, would probably be Houston and Arizona. I think that could be a solid 3-0 win, maybe a 3-2 with a safety. I've seen hockey teams score higher than I think those 2 teams would combined.
And moving to a team where I think scoring is going to be an issue, I honestly do. The team that's won the division the last 3 years, they've gotten worse every single year, even with Brady. They won the Super Bowl in 2020. They got outed in the divisional round where they came back, a big comeback, and then they blew it when they let Cooper Kupp be Cooper Kupp. And then last year went 8-9 and then got demolished against the Cowboys in Tampa Bay, 31-14. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and like I said, Brady's gone. Bring in Baker, bring in Kyle Trask. We don't know the starters. We think it's going to be Baker.
I don't think it fucking matters.
I really don't, Luke, and that's the reason why we talked about it coming in the show. This offensive line is a different offensive line. We don't know what's going to be. The run game's a joke. I said it. You might see it. Mike Evans might get traded by the halfway season when they're trying to clear cap. The defensive pass rush took a hit. Is the secondary going to be good? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys are sleeping on Tampa Bay just a little bit. I think you guys are hating on them just because it's Baker Mayfield at quarterback. They still have a good wide receiver core. So you guys are hating on them just because it's Baker Mayfield. And
with what line, though? With what line?
Mayfield proved he couldn't do it with receivers elsewhere.
Yeah, we saw.
He was in the Browns organization now.
But my question legitimately, it's just
the Browns had weapons. The Browns had weapons.
The Browns had OBJ. And a receiver that's on the Ravens.
Pre-ACL OBJ.
And he won a playoff game with the Browns.
Well, he didn't win with that. That was without Odell, but
he won a playoff game with them.
Well, yes, but that's what I was going to say though. It's not about Baker or Trask. Even Brady struggled. Baker doesn't get the ball like Baker or Tom Brady does in 2 seconds or 2 seconds and below. Brady's got the quickest trigger in NFL history.
All right, look, check down Brady. Okay, it's not hard to get it out
Baker,
in 2 seconds.
That's not Baker.
When you're straight to the.
But that's not Baker's game though.
Baker's he's on a prove it deal, so I think he's going to take some risks and push the ball downfield.
But how can you do that? How can you do that when the line is letting you? But that's not the point. The point is you can't go down the field if you're getting hit every single play.
I'm just saying.
Baker's been on a prove it deal since he joined the league. All right.
I think Tampa Bay's going to be better than you guys think they are.
I disagree. I think the receiving core. I think the receivers are great. And aside from that, I think this team is just not what it's made out to be.
Also defense too. I think the defense is probably going to carry the team.
The defense changed though. The whole pass
they did every year before Brady got there.
They still have Shaq Barrett and Levante David.
Yeah, Shaq Barrett returning from a torn Achilles, which is one of the worst injuries in sports history at his age too. 9 years in the league, a torn Achilles. That's rough.
He's still coming back. Anton Winfield Jr., solid free safety.
So I mean, but the thing
is, Carlton Davis. So their defense
season's not even started and the Bucs are done.
Yeah,
drug test that guy because that guy said they're winning the Super Bowl this year.
So
you never know.
Real quick,
it's easy path in the NFC South. There's no team that really stands out in the NFC South. I think the Saints have the slight edge right now, but other than that, it's pretty open.
Yeah.
Did you just say the Saints have the slight edge in a division with Carolina and Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay that struggled with Tom Brady, arguably the GOAT last year, right? That's what everyone says.
They still won the division last year.
Yeah, but you're downgrading big time. All around the whole team.
I think the defense is still solid, yes. But the big question is, can everybody stay healthy? I mean, look at their corners. You have like you said, Barrett, Jamal Dean, which is good, and then Carlton Davis. But if one of those guys get injured, they might have the worst secondary depth in the fucking league. You have Anthony Nelson, D. Delaney, Zion McCollum. Who the fuck are these guys?
But I've never even heard of them. Chris, it's not just that. It's now that this pass rush can't get to the quarterback where they're putting pressure on the QB, so they're going to make him bad throws. If the quarterback can sit in the pocket and pick this defense apart and let the receivers do the work, it's a different secondary.
We're going to see. Yeah, we're going to see how good this secondary really is.
Because now you're not on the QB to actually get momentum. It's not like that where it was the last couple of years where it was
the same one.
Hit the QB.
Same when Mac was on Chicago, dude. That first year, he was getting to the quarterback so quick, he was forcing poor decisions, and the secondary looked like top-notch in the NFL. And then when Mac leaves, turnovers went downhill fast.
And it's no hate on Baker. I don't care if it's Kyle Trask. I don't care if Brady comes back. This offensive line is dog shit. It's horrible, and you can't push the ball down the field if you're getting hit almost every single play. That's why Brady was ducking and diving out there and taking these sacks. He was just falling down to the ground and trying to throw it. Yeah, and I don't blame him.
Well, he's also kind of a pussy, but
yeah, okay, fine. But it's still hard to deliver the ball to receivers, and that's the problem. Is I think they're going to have that situation, and they have no run game to support him.
No, they don't. They don't. Leonard Fournette averaging 45 yards a game last year. I don't think it was that low, but you know what I mean. You see the exaggeration.
Fournette's not on the team anymore right now.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. They haven't made improvements.
Yeah, I think they add one like Zeke or Cook to this team.
Cook's not going there.
Are they going to want to come? I mean, you got Rashad White, Chase Edmonds.
Zeke played for one of the best. Zeke had one of the best O lines last year and couldn't do shit.
Yeah, they let him go.
Well, like Mark said, the O line's garbage. I mean, you have a huge question mark at quarterback. You got Baker. When in Carolina, he was running around looking like he didn't know what was going on. He was making terrible throws. Then you have Trask, which in the depth chart, he was behind Blaine Gabbert. So you're telling me you want a quarterback starting for your team that you didn't want to play in garbage time?
Question, Chris, too, for you real quick. Who was the running backs when Cleveland won that playoff game? Wasn't it Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? I don't think Baker has a Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, two fucking studs out there that were top 10 in fantasy that year with this team. And the O-line in Cleveland that was phenomenal.
He had studs all the way around on that offense and that defense in Cleveland and still.
No, I'll give it to him. He won a playoff game. That's great. I'm happy. I wanted Cleveland to do good with Baker, just to see Cleveland good.
I did too. I was a huge Baker fan when he came in, but he just cannot do it.
But what happened?
He tries to do too much. He tries to force the ball in situations where he shouldn't.
He's got the most playoff wins in the division.
That's fine. I mean, that doesn't mean they have the best team.
You're talking about one.
Hey, guess what? Joe Burrow has the most playoff wins in the division. Hey, Burrow has more playoff wins than the whole division combined, but you shit on him.
Baker has the same amount of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson has an NFL MVP though.
Actually, does Baker have the most playoff wins in the division?
He does.
Yeah, because Carr.
How many does Derek Carr didn't win one?
No, he's only been to one. Dalton never won when he was with the Bengals because the Bengals were shit then. They had poor coaching with Marvin Lewis, honestly.
I think the offense is trash. I don't think Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are good enough to be able to make up for the poor quarterback play. And their numbers were inflated with how heavy that pass offense was with Brady.
Oh, yeah. They threw the ball on
50 pass attempts a game. Yeah.
So I think...
And it's not even just that. Mike Evans might be gone. He might be traded in the middle of the season. And then what? You have Russell Gage and Chris Godwin.
It's all... I mean, Russell Gage ain't terrible. But,
he was terrible with Brady last year. He had one of the highest drop rates last year with Tom Brady throwing him the ball. And now you have Zip It Baker Mayfield that has no touch at all. He just likes to rocket everything like Josh Allen used to do when he first came in the league. So he hasn't progressed as a quarterback in the NFL. I don't care if he's had offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator. Maybe if your offense was good the first time with offensive coordinator, maybe you wouldn't keep getting new ones.
Yeah, no, and it's all going to depend on the season progress for Evans. If they got a chance, if they feel like they have a chance to playoffs, they're not trading Evans.
Who's their tight end? K. Dotton? Come on. It's not a good situation. I don't care if it's Baker or if it's not Baker. It could be Tom Brady back. I already said it. They're not good. They were 8-9 last year with arguably the greatest of all time that everyone wants to say he is. He's proclaimed that. So now you're going to downgrade to what? Baker or Kyle Trask, who hasn't done anything really in the NFL. Yeah, had one playoff win. That's cool.
Tampa will be the third team in the South, and I think Carolina will be the last.
I have Tampa's last. I really do. I think the over-under for Tampa is – let's talk about it. They're 6.5. I have them with Carolina just because they took that big step. I have under. I really think it's a 3 or 4 win team. I'm not high on Tampa at all.
I have them under as well.
I mean, look at this.
I have them under as well, but I think that they're finishing above Carolina, but I have them under 6.5. But I do think they finish better than Carolina.
Look at this schedule, man.
I'm giving them a win. I'm giving them a win against Philly. I'm getting one against San Francisco.
And the fact that this fucking team got Monday Night Football in Week 3 is fucking bullshit. They're gonna get annihilated Week 3. They're gonna lose fucking 48-10.
Yes, the Falcons play Week 3.
Hey, you're gonna see Marcus Mariota Week 3 win the games in the second half when it's fucking 38-10 and the halftime.
I think they got a shot against Buffalo, man.
Yeah, Buffalo's gonna annihilate this team.
I know.
It's so bad.
I'm gonna go under, but like Doc said, I think they have more wins than Carolina just due to I think their defense is still solid.
Yep.
We'll find out.
I think honestly, I think if they don't split with Carolina, I think they take both from Carolina.
All right, Luke.
I'm taking the over. Yeah, I'm taking the over with them. Wow. Yeah, I'm taking it with 7 wins. Though. I think they get second in the division.
Can you tell me their 7 wins real quick? You don't have to tell losses. Just say the wins. I want to hear the wins.
Okay, say the wins. So I think they beat Chicago.
Wow.
I think they're split with New Orleans. So it's what?
2? I got you 2.
Okay.
Are you splitting the whole division with them? Are you splitting the division with them?
I think they're going to sweep Carolina.
All right, so that's 5 then. So who's your other 2?
Yeah. 5. Then split Atlanta.
Yeah, so you have 5 with the division and Chicago. So who's your other 2?
Houston.
Non-conference.
Okay.
That's a tough decision.
Tennessee.
No. That's 7. I mean, you have another one?
Green Bay. So, not bad.
And he's not even going to say Indy.
8,
yeah, I'm saying
Hey, same
Indy,
record as...
That's 9. That's a 9-8 season. Wow.
Wow, better without Brady.
I think
Davis is right.
Wow.
I think they're going to be competing with the Saints for first place.
Well, you have the Saints at 9-8, so
I'm going to tap out there.
Wait. You have potentially 2 teams from the NFC South making the playoffs because in the NFC, 9-8 can get you in the playoffs as a wild card.
I'm tapping out. I'm going to go. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Baker's going to really be on it for that. I still think they get like 7 wins.
I have them. Wait, put that back up real quick. Put that back up since we're gonna get into the specifics here.
All
right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
He already closed it out.
I think I got him. I'm gonna give him Indy. I'm gonna give him Houston. At
9.
Best case scenario for them, they split with Carolina.
Hey, by the way, Baker might die. Baker might die week 11 when Nick Bosa just keeps piling driving him to the ground.
Tennessee might be one. I got him like 4, maybe 5. But I think I had Carolina at 3, maybe 4.
I have a question for about Baker Mayfield. He had a running back last year named Christian McCaffrey and a wide receiver named DJ Moore, and he couldn't fucking produce with those 2 guys.
Hey, bad coaching.
But he's gonna beat DJ Moore in Chicago.
Todd Bowles is not very good as a coach, by the way, as a head coach, and this offensive line is dog shit. So
don't worry, Mark. He couldn't do shit with DJ Moore, but he's gonna beat DJ Moore in Chicago. Okay.
All right. Well, that's your division breakdown of all 8. We made it through it. It seemed like the most fire came from the so-called Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay Buccaneers because this guy has proved it his whole career. He is a winner. One playoff win makes you better than Tom Brady. And,
just a fucking stud, dude.
They lost a lot, and they're better.
The Bucs are on the up.
Hey,
this doesn't mean this is our final. This does not mean this is our final standings. We will give our final standings when it's in the preseason, closer to the first week of the season, when we do our awards and we do our projections for the playoffs. So things can change with position battles, and injuries obviously are going to happen. Unfortunately, it's just the way training camp works. You get injuries in that non-contact. We'll get some ACL tears, unfortunately. But moving on. Do you guys want to touch Jon Gruden now? I mean, I don't know how long y'all want to go this episode. It's up to y'all. We can wait till Monday's episode, but maybe more things leak out. It's up to you guys. If not, we'll talk about the ESPYs.
I'll give my 2 cents real quick. We'll just do this. Call it in 60 seconds. I get the frustration. It doesn't change the fact that you were wrong. I mean, you can pull Snyder down with you. You can pull Goodell down with you. I mean, if they were complicit and breaking rules as well, I mean, they deserve to pay. But at the end of the day, you're still fucking wrong. You're still exiled. You still have no place in this league. Get out. You're a shitty coach anyways. Goodbye. Next.
So I'm not saying he's right for what he did, but I understand the frustration where your privacy was invaded, and because you're investigating Dan Snyder now, all his stuff that came out that was private. I mean, if he was never displaying this person, I'm not saying he's the right guy. I mean,
was it private though? Was it their NFL emails or private emails?
It's private emails. His private emails. So, and they were being used as blackmail to cover for Dan Snyder. That's the allegation is Roger Goodell was covering for his owner because he works for the owners, and Dan Snyder wants to stay, obviously, as the owner of the team. So he apparently blackmailed Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, to get rid of him. And Jon Gruden decided, hey, I got to get out of here because I'm not going to allow my friend, because they were friends, him and Mark Davis, to just fire me. So he did the right thing. He quit to cause less controversy at the moment. But if Roger Goodell is doing that, he is fucking doing that, he should be fired too. He should be kicked out as commissioner. You're not going to sit here and blackmail and cover a guy you work for. No. All three
Goodell's a dog shit commissioner anyways. Goodbye.
Hey, Goodell just gave himself a new contract too.
But I understand the privacy thing. Like, I understand, like, you're wrong for what you said. You are wrong, but privacy is privacy, and if he is not displaying that, he's not being racist towards his players. Then, I mean, it's a bad look for the NFL if what they did is true.
I for one hope this fucking pops off and Gruden does burn the NFL down, because I want to know what kind of skeletons that Goodell has in the closet.
Yes, we need a shake-up.
And all the owners.
I want some fucking tea time. Spill the beans, Jon Gruden. Spill the fucking beans.
Hey, McCaskey's clean, all right? She's like 90 and she's a saint.
Apparently, I think behind the back and pay Gruden to keep him quiet. I think that's eventually what's going to happen. Yeah,
that might be what his angle is too, since he got fired from that lucrative contract that he didn't deserve.
And Dan Snyder said he's got. Apparently, I saw this a couple weeks ago or a few months ago when he was going through the selling team. Apparently, he's got dirt on all 31 owners. So
he does not have dirt on McCaskey. Dude, that woman is a saint.
Well, hey, if he does,
he's 130 years old.
If he does,
dirt on the Packers owners.
Hey, I want to see also. I also want to. I want to see what the dirt is on the Giants and Steelers, because those families are married into each other. They're like literally in-laws. So what kind of collusion do they got going on? I want to see some shit. Like Chris said, I want to see everyone come out. I don't care who it is. I want to see the dirt.
Yeah, no. Leave my girl Gail Benson alone. I mean, her husband died. She's a good girl.
Oh, no. That bitch needs to be investigated too. All of them. Even my owner, the guy that founded Home Depot, Arthur Blank, needs to be investigated too. All of them.
No,
all 32.
No, you leave Virginia alone. God damn it.
Even the Packers owners.
Said. No, well, you investigate the presidents. You investigate the president of the team. That's what you investigate. The guy that runs the team operation wise.
So, that's different. Yeah, you can go after him.
Well, hey, investigate all the fans that own stockholds. Investigate them all.
Whoa! Leave my skeletons alone.
Bring me the stocks. I got good ones. Bring me the stock. I'll own some of the Packers. Fuck it. But hey, I guess we have time. ESPYs, boys. I mean, something that, like I said, it's a popularity contest. I had some fucking gripe with it. And I'll start with Jamal Murray. Obviously, to come back from his injury, miss a year, wins comeback player of the year, I think it's an excellent achievement. He also won the finals part of that team with Joker. I think baseball got snubbed like they usually do. Baseball wasn't even recognized as a best MLB team. Glad the Astros didn't win it, but you also got to honor one of the major sports with some of these sports that aren't even popularity-wise close to the MLB. But Justin Verlander should have won comeback player of the year. I think coming back from Tommy John surgery at his age, a very old age, wins the Cy Young Award for the American League, which means he was the best pitcher in the American League.
Still salty about that.
Also won the World Series, which was one of the key members of the World Series team for the Astros. Got the monkey off his back. Literally, he's horrible in the World Series. He finally did good in the World Series. And he was a big part of that team. Hate the Astros, but the man deserved the award, honestly. So that's one of my main gripes there, Chris. Yeah.
So I was muted. I mean, I think I watched the ESPYs. I didn't watch all of it because I kind of got bored of it. But I think the biggest part, I think the greatest part that I watched was like the Pat Tillman Award when they brought out the whole Bills medical staff, gave them it. I mean, the whole thing with DeMar Hamlin, his story. I mean, that was touching. I love that. Like you said, I think Verlander got snubbed. I thought he was the greatest comeback player. We were talking about it earlier about the Chiefs. I don't think they were the best team. Like you said, I think it should have been the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, if we're saying best teams, so best players, I mean, Georgia had studs. And you saw
Georgia allowed like 160 yards a game on defense, too. That is fucking insane.
And
at the college level.
Once again, another rival of mine, Oklahoma. Dude, this women's softball team didn't lose at all, man. Like, best team in their fucking sport, and they dominated.
2 years? 2 years now?
Well, it's been 3 years that they've 2 years, but they've won the last three. But just for the year alone, they're fucking studs out there.
But the Oklahoma softball team ain't making money. The Chiefs are. ESPN needs money.
It's just like the Pro Bowl. It's a popularity contest. Whoever gets votes.
And that.
I think the biggest takeaway, though, and I know Doc is so fucking excited about it, is that LeBron James is not fucking retiring. He ain't.
Yes!
He's done. He's not done.
Yes, another year.
Hey,
we are dog shit.
We need to be grateful for that too. That's pretty much what he said.
Are.
We need to be grateful.
Yeah,
I am.
I am grateful in the hopes that his flops will really elevate this season, and he'll get called for it.
Flops now are a new rule change for the NBA. You get technical foul.
That's why they will never call it on him, no matter how hard he flops. But I know it's going to happen.
Taking a charge to me is kind of a flop. I mean, I know you get in the way, but you are you're trying to fall back. It's not like a hard flop.
That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the shit where somebody blows in the back of LeBron's neck and he fucking falls over like he got run over by a goddamn Mack truck. All right, that's the shit that I'm talking about.
But Doc, your closer also got recognized too for the I think with the Jimmy V Award for his battle.
He's a fucking legend. Yeah, he's a fucking legend.
Very good story.
Not Hodgkin's lymphoma, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, he battled that, and obviously he's back in the MLB now. And I mean, great story, honestly. It's like Chris said, the DeMar Hamlin story with the trainers and then your boy from the White Sox. I really thought both stories were really good stories to put out there for the sports world, really.
Yeah, no, I followed the Liam Hendricks all year long since he went to the doctor and noticed something was wrong and just followed that path to recovery. And it's been so inspirational and just like so heartwarming to see him come back. And that first inning was absolutely fucking electric when he came out there and just see. Why you got to put this up there while I'm trying to give this? God damn it, man. But no, just see.
These LeBron memes are great. I hope everyone on Apple and Spotify, tune into YouTube, man. You got to see these memes. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Doc.
This is unbelievable.
The Hendricks talk is.
This one is
sorry,
the best
dude.
one. This one's the best one. Fucking really long.
Dude, yeah, I saw the glasses, and first thing I said was like, "What the fuck is he wearing?" Like, it was just.
My question was like, I think 50% of the athletes were wearing sunglasses. Like you were.
Did you see what Jamal Murray?
Fucking sunny.
Jamal Murray. Yeah. Jamal Murray looked like he was wearing pajamas. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this? What's he wearing?" I was like, but these athletes, they can wear anything, and it just works for them. I mean,
that's the Cam Newton, dude. That's the Cam Newton effect.
Yeah, Luke, did you watch the Pat McAfee Open in the show, dude? I think Peyton Manning's the best monologue I've ever seen for the ESPYs. But damn, Pat did a good job improvising the hell out of that, and called out Skip Bayless, called out Kevin Hart for his short jokes and the protesting the writers, and then also called out Brett Favre. Fucking love it, dude.
No, I didn't get the opportunity to watch. I had to work late, so I missed the ESPYs.
Just Google or just YouTube the Pat opening monologue. You'll love it, man. I'm telling you.
Aside from the heartwarming stuff, the ESPYs are dog shit.
When they rode
it's not worth my time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a couple of years ago they did that. A couple of years ago, right?
No, I think that was this one, wasn't it?
No, they were showing throwbacks with the bricks, building brick houses for children. Yeah. That was the guy that plays the new Captain America, formerly as the Falcon in the Marvel series. So he I forgot his name. Oh man, I forgot his name. But yeah, he was the one that did that. Peyton Manning's year, the one he did after the Falcons blew the Super Bowl, that 15-minute monologue he had, that was pure gold. And that's one of the reasons why I watch the ESPYs is just to see. I want to see an athlete do it because I think it's funnier when athletes are calling each other out. Like he called out Kevin Durant joining the Warriors, saying that the USA women's soccer team needed another player and Durant's going to join. Like things like that. He ripped Tom Brady. He did his typical, Peyton Manning bullshit, but it was hilarious. I think coming from Pat, a lot of people aren't high on him just because he's loud and his personality, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. Definitely golden in my opinion. I do think he is one of the most influences, like power influences in sports. I think Sports Illustrated got that one right with Pat McAfee. He's changing the game, honestly. But, Luke, I'm telling you, man, you ain't going to see no Baltimore Ravens as best team next year, buddy. Sorry about it.
Hey, they'll still have a better record than the Falcons.
9-8 tops.
Same result as the Falcons. Don't win a Super Bowl. It don't matter if you don't win the Super Bowl. Just the way it works, unfortunately. Right, Chris? And how do you win the Super Bowl?
You have to have more numbers on the scoreboard than the other team.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen, that is John Madden in living flesh.
But, boys, we're going to have to find something to talk about. Hopefully something pops off this weekend because we're getting to that point. We do have training camp coming up very shortly next week, so or mini camps, like whatever you want to call it. So hopefully something pops off, some position battles. I don't want to see an injury, but hey, an injury will get you something to talk about. It'll change the dynamic.
Send us recommendations.
Well, hopefully, Jon
post in the comments down below. Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah. Just let us know. Bring back the listeners' load segment a couple more times. Maybe bring some spice to the show. Like I said, Tampa brought the spice, Luke. Love to hear your takes. Always excited to hear what you have to say.
Somebody's got to bring the spice.
Yeah.
Luke needs a drug test.
We can all agree.
Wait, are you with Carlton Davis? Do you think that they win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, why not?
God. Hey, if anyone wants to join
so they're beating the Ravens.
Hey, we're taking applications and resumes for All About the Balls podcast. Luke, unfortunately, has been let go. We wish him in his best in his future endeavors. But that is Nick the Doc Skirkowitz, always loud and proud, representing the Chicago teams. He's a big Cubs fan. That is Chris Gemeinhart.
Mouth. Watch your. I will resign right now.
Bayou, representing the Pelicans and the Saints and the Go Tigers. And then there's Luke. Ravens, Buccaneers, UCF, Knights fan, Orioles, all of it. He's a Wizards fan, Capitals fan. Hey, I'm Mark Davis. You see the flag behind me. Falcons are getting to the playoffs this year. This is All About the Balls podcast, and we are out. Fucking 9-8. Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram @the Sack House.